Good afternoon and welcome to the Citi Prime News. The news is live from our studio at Adabraka in Accra. I am Inusafo. Coming up, National Labour Commission orders striking university unions to resume work immediately. Meanwhile, the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission describes the move by the unions as an expression of bad faith.
If you take a case to the National Labour Commission, you have to go and meet them before you take any further action. And they assure them, Fair Wages assure them that they will do whatever they can in their power to get the problem solved.
We bring you more on this as the striking unions have announced plans to suspend their strike.
Are confirmed that it's authentic, so I'm working on a statement.
Is a statement aimed at calling off the strike?
Yes, because what we are demanding for has been granted.
Also coming up, 1 civilian dead, 3 police officers injured in Gumwa Dominasi drug raid.
This is oppression. Yeah. This is oppression.
Still ahead, Gold Board extends gold trading license deadline to June 21. And later, GRIDCO and ECG work to restore power after Obuasi substation fire, which plunged Obuasi and neighboring communities into darkness.
Efforts are underway to ensure that we will be able to restore power supply once GRIDCO finishes the work. But preliminary indications with GRIDCO indicates that they might be able to restore portions of the network because of the damage that's happened as a result of last night's fire outbreak.
This bulletin is also live across our partner stations. If you're in the Western region, you're listening to us on Premier 100.5 FM and Beach 105.5 FM in Takrade. In the Bunu region, you're listening to us on Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyani. In the Ashanti region, Orange 107.9 FM in Kumasi. In the Volta region, we're live on Holy 98.5 FM in Aflao. In the Northern region, Dasuma 99.1 FM in Yendi. In the Upper East, we're live on Word 88.3 FM in Zwarungu. And in the Upper West, Bugli Radio 88.6 FM in Wa. Across the globe, we're live on citinewsroom.com.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Many thanks for choosing us. Let's settle for the details of our stories. The Senior Staff Association of Universities of Ghana, the Technical University Administrators Association of Ghana, and the Federation of University Senior Staff Association of Ghana have announced plans to suspend their strike. The unions declared an indefinite strike yesterday over what they described as the government's failure to honor an agreement signed 6 months ago. However, the Ministry of Finance, in a letter signed by the Minister, Dr. Kaisel Atoforsen, has directed the Comptroller and Accountant General's Department to release funds to fulfill the agreement. The National Labour Commission has also directed the unions to call off the strike. Speaking to Citi News, the national chairman of the Senior Staff Association of Universities of Ghana, George Ansong, said the associations would formally communicate the decision to their members.
Yes, I've been said not long ago. As I said, I was waiting for it to also come out and inform the media and the general public. So I've just received it. I've confirmed that it's authentic. So I'm working on a statement. And as soon as I finish, I'll tell all of you.
Is a statement aimed at calling off the strike?
Yes, because what we are demanding for has been granted.
George Ansong is the national chairman of the Senior Staff Association of Universities of Ghana. The Ghana Tertiary Education Commission says the decision by the striking university staff unions to lay down their tools was taken in bad faith, especially after assurances and ongoing engagements with key stakeholders. The Commission points to efforts to resolve the matter, including a meeting with the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission on May 19th, an invitation by the National Labour Commission for a hearing on May 21st and another scheduled meeting with GTEC on May 23rd. Deputy Director General Professor Augustine Oklu describes the strike as surprising and disappointing given the series of meetings and interventions in recent weeks. He also noted that money owed to the unions have now reflected in their accounts.
We are not disputing the fact that there was a delay. They were not disputing that. It's supposed to take effect from. We signed the MOU or the MOA in November, and then we are in May. So there was a delay. But what we are saying is that we have engaged them. We have engaged them. One, the Labour Act is there. If you take a case to the National Labour Commission, you have to go and meet them, before you take any further action. And they assure them, Fairwages assure them that they will do whatever they can in their power to get the problem solved. And even before that, Mr. Anson told me that he actually met the Honorable Minister, and the Minister actually agreed and drafted the letter to Ministry of Finance to actually make sure that this issue is resolved. So if after some time, maybe you saw that there's some delay, what I think should be done is Mr. Anson and the group could have gone back to the Minister, the Honorable Minister of Education, that we came, you receive us well, but we are not seeing any action.
You heard the Deputy Director General of the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, Professor Augustine Oklu. Now, the Minister of Education, Haruna Idrisu, has announced a policy direction by the government, signalling a shift in focus towards increased investment in basic education. He observed that over the years, government spending has been heavily tilted in favor of senior high schools, while basic education, particularly in infrastructure, has suffered neglect. The minister made this announcement at the 21st Annual Education World Forum in London, held under the theme Building Stronger, Bolder and Better Education Together. In his address, he indicated that strengthening basic education is now a critical priority for the government.
Access to quality education will improve learning outcomes. That is a vision of the new government. And to invest more in basic education. If you do an assessment of our education funding regime in the last decade, you would find proportional expenditure weighted in favor of pre-senior high school against basic education and tertiary education. So there is a policy shift, and that policy shift from President Mahama under the reset will be to now prioritize basic education. Ask me why. The Constitution has guaranteed free, compulsory, universal basic education. We are celebrating 32 years of that Constitution, a stable democracy. We still have about 5,000 schools that are under trace without basic physical infrastructure.
That was the Minister of Education, Haruna Idrisu. Away from education, the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Shippers Authority, Professor Ransford Jampo, has accused international shipping lines of resisting regulatory oversight despite operating under Ghana's jurisdiction. His remarks come after the Chamber of Freight and Trade raised concerns over inconsistent exchange rates used by shipping lines in calculating demurrage and other port charges. Speaking on the Citi Breakfast Show, Professor Jampo said the issues are resolvable, but noted that there are deliberate attempts by the shipping lines to sidestep Ghana's regulatory framework.
For now, but my view is that, most, I wouldn't say most, but some of the shipping lines, they don't want to be regulated. Now, these are foreign businesses that have come to our country to do business, and some way, somehow, they want to do things on their own. And I've told them publicly that not under me. We would regulate them and we will work according to the laws of Ghana. Because we've all been to their countries before. We schooled in their countries. When in Rome, you do as the Romans do. In their countries that we went and to study, we were given laws, rules and regulations. We didn't say that because we came from Ghana, we want to do things anyhow we please. We complied with their laws. But most of them, even in preparing the law that mandates us, give us the power to receive their service charges and to to receive their service charges and to approve or disapprove of them. In preparing that law, they fought with the Ghana Shippers Authority, they fought with Parliament, they fought with the presidency. They didn't win. When it comes to implementation, they are still dragging their feet and they have mountain.
That was the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Shippers Authority, Professor Ransford Jampo. Meanwhile, an executive member of the Ship Owners and Agents Association of Ghana, Imoru Ayana, has explained that individual shipping lines are set their own rates. Hence, the association cannot be held responsible if those rates do not reflect current exchange trends. But speaking on the City Breakfast Show, Imoru Ayana insisted that shipping rates remain outside the association's control.
Shipping line is very different. And so even in our association, we can't even sit and talk of pricing because it's against the EU regulations. And most of these companies are linked to the, have to abide by the EU regulations. When they are caught colluding, the damages are huge. Some of them, when the vessel leaves the port of origin and is coming directly to Ghana, the prevailing rate of exchange is what has been used to calculate the cost build-up and everything on that voyage. So, for instance, if they leave and the exchange rate at that time is 16 to the dollar, and that is the cost, that is what they use to calculate their cost structure. They come to Ghana, even if the exchange rate drops, it's the principal that controls this. And this exchange rate formula is not only for Ghana, it cuts across all the countries that they apply. So when they come to Ghana and it's even 12 or it's dropped to 1, they can't touch that very exchange rate.
Reacting to concerns by freight forwarders that ship owners are undercutting them by dealing directly with customers, Imoru Ayana admitted the practice exists but assured that members of the association are collaborating to improve service delivery to clients.
If a freight forwarder is talking like that, I would have a problem. But if a customs house agent is talking like that, I'm happy to address it because he might not understand the shipping terms. There might be some truth in this and that because Ghana had been a liberal place in the past. So some shipping lines were involved in custom clearance. It's not all of them. Some of them were involved in custom clearance. Then a law came that custom clearance should be a localized whatever entity, and they are like, okay, we'll comply. But what is it? Is it taking retro? Those people who are already in it, can they still continue, or do they have to stop? And this is a discussion that I don't know what was finalized. But some of them, even that I know that they do customs clearance, they backed up and they have partnership locally. They don't. It's not all of them who have transport.
That was an executive member of the Ship Owners and Agents Association of Ghana, Imoru Ayana. Away from that, the Ghana Gold Board has extended the deadline for transitioning to its new gold trading license regime from May 21st to June 21st, 2025. The extension was announced in a statement issued today following petitions from stakeholders who cited challenges in gathering the required documents on time. Under the revised directive, holders of licenses previously issued by the now defunct Precious Minerals Marketing Company and the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources may continue trading with those licenses until the new deadline. Gold Board has, however, stated that this grace period is final and will not be extended. The National Commercial Motor Riders Union of Ghana says transportation fares for motor riders will remain unchanged despite calls for a reduction. Speaking to Citi News, the union spokesperson Solomon Panaba indicated that there has been no engagement with the Transport Ministry to warrant such a reduction.
Nobody has right to ask, so we assume that we didn't hear anything. Now we don't even know that anything called reduction of price. So nobody met us, nobody has right to ask. It's going to be the same. Maybe as individuals, the individual can decide to decrease his price based on what is happening at the various pump stations in terms of fuel price. But we didn't meet as a union to talk to our membership to reduce or increase or stabilize or whatever. No. If it has reduced to 1 cedi per liter, and government decide not to mine us, we also decide to mine our own business.
You heard the spokesperson for the National Commercial Motor Riders Union of Ghana, Solomon Panapa. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News. Still to come, 1 civilian dead, 3 police officers injured in Gumwa Dominase drug raid. We'll bring you the details shortly. Do stay.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Calling all farmers, agribusinesses, and innovators, this is your chance to shine. Channel 1 TV invites you to exhibit at AgriFair 2025, one of Ghana's largest agriculture exhibitions. From Friday 20th to Sunday the 22nd of June, the A4 Sutherland Children's Park in Accra will come alive with the very best from Ghana's agribusiness sector. Are you a farmer with fresh produce of any kind? Be it crops, livestock or poultry, fisheries or aquaculture, or you're a supplier of agro inputs and processing machinery? This is your platform to connect with the world. AgriFair 2025 is more than an exhibition. Showcase your fresh produce, share your expertise and experience, and grow your business. So, to all farmers with fresh produce, livestock or poultry, fisheries or aquaculture products, come, sell, network, and expand your business. AgriFair 2025, where culture meets innovation. Register now to secure your spot. Call us on 0205 973 973. Come one, come all. Enjoy the freshest farm produce at unbeatable prices. And treat yourself to sizzling kebabs made from beef, mutton, pork, chicken, and more. Great taste, great value. Don't miss out. The AgriFair 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from 97.3 Citi FM and is proudly sponsored by Exim Bank, Legacy Crop Improvement Center, and Development Bank Ghana.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. Let's do some more stories. A police raid at the Onion Market in Gumwa Dominase in the Gumwa East District of the Central Region has led to the death of 1 person. The deceased was sleeping in a makeshift structure at the time of the raid and was ran over by a bulldozer. Though police announced a clampdown on illicit drugs as the main intent of the raid, occupants of the area hold a contrary view. They believe the operation was meant to demolish structures to the advantage of a party to a lingering litigation over ownership of the land. A resistance from the occupants also led to the injuring of 3 law enforcers. Let's take a listen to some reactions from the residents.
I was sleeping inside. I did not even wake up here this morning. When they came, I see they were breaking the door. I said, Master, calm down. What are you looking for? They break the door by force. No, they came inside this.
We apologize for that and said we'll do well to bring you that. But our Central Regional Correspondent, Akwesiado, joins us for more on this issue. Akwesi, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, tell us about this raid at the Onion Market in Gumwa Dominase. So residents are saying one thing, police are saying another. Tell us more.
Okay, so the raid happened at around 5:45 a.m. this morning. And as we speak now, we have about 4 makeshift structures that have been torched by the security officers who undertook the operation. And then we also recorded the death of 1 person, Abdul Razak Mohammed, a 23-year-old who is married to 2 women, and then had about 4 children, as we are told by the family. Several properties have been destroyed. Now, according to police, the motive behind this operation was to clamp down on illicit drug peddlers who are camped closer to the Gumwa Dominase Onion Market. But when we got here, residents are arguing that that narrative is not entirely accurate. Yes, they do agree that some of them did engage in peddling illicit drugs here in the area, but then also they are also of the view that this particular land is under litigation, and so they believe that a party to the litigation is hiding behind the police to demolish these structures, just so the land would be laid bare for future development. And so they do not believe that is a primary motive of this particular exercise. It was to clamp down on illegal drug peddlers. Currently, as I speak with you, there is modest calm here in the area. But I should also mention that these residents are very rich. And they believe that they have not been fairly treated, because we do know that most of these persons who trade in onions are not Ghanaians. They are from neighboring ECOWAS countries, and so they are appealing for authorities to launch a full-scale investigation into this matter. Currently, as I speak with you, we have the Gomwa Eastern Nordmo director who has come to see for himself what happened here in the morning, and then he has begun an assessment process of the entire situation. We also have some top leadership of the Nigerian community who have also visited the area to get first-hand information.
All right, Akwasi, hold the line for us. Let's take you back to that reaction from some residents.
I was sleeping inside. I did not even wake up here this morning. When they came, I see they were breaking the door. I said, Master, calm down. What are you looking for? They break the door by force. No, they came inside. They searched everywhere. They did not get anything. But still, no, they put me out.
We apologize. We understand that insert is not on air, but we will try and bring it to you in our subsequent bulletins. But Akwasi Ado, our Central Regional Correspondent, is still on with us. Akwasi, tell us, you said there's relative calm. Did the police leave security there, or describe the area for us now?
So the police did not leave the area. They rather fled, because what happened was that when the destruction of properties began, and then when that victim who was run over by the bulldozer, when it came to the attention of the residents that someone had been run over by a bulldozer and that he had died as a result, they mobilized themselves and then drew various weapons and launched a retaliatory attack on the security officers. So the security officers were retreating. Two police officers were not lucky. They couldn't board the vehicle on time. And then the residents here, or the occupants here, got held of them. In fact, they really physically assaulted them heavily. And then there was this immigration officer who was part of the operation, who was also physically assaulted by these occupants. All these security officers, as I speak with you now, have been hospitalized and undergoing treatment. So we do not know whether the police would launch yet another invasion on the enclave, or how police intend to deal with the matter from here on.
And Akwasi, finally, has the civilian who died been identified?
So he has been identified as Abdul Razak Mohammed, 23-year-old, married to 2 women, and then left behind about 4 children. And we are told he is a Nigerian.
Thank you very much. Kwesi Ado is our Central Regional Correspondent, bringing up updates on a police raid at the Onion Market in Gomwa Domnase in the Gomwa East Districts of the Central Region. Let's move away from there and go to Obuasi and its neighboring communities in the Ashanti region, which have been plunged into darkness following a fire outbreak at a Gridco substation, which resulted in the explosion of a transformer serving the area. Although the blaze was brought under control with the help of firefighters, power supply to the affected communities remains cut off. Speaking to Citi News, the public relations officer for the Electricity Company of Ghana in the Ashanti West District, Benjamin Obenentry, said efforts are currently underway to assess the extent of the damage and restore power.
So further assessment has revealed that some equipment at the Great Water Supply Point have been severely affected by the fire outbreak. As we speak, Gridco engineers together with ECG engineers are on site, hoping that Gridco will finish assessing what happened last night and then take measures to restore supply at their end to enable ECG distribute power supply to our choice customers. Yes, some customers are off. In fact, not just some customers, but all customers that take power supply from the Obuasi supply points are off, i.e. all our customers in the Obuasi district and the New Dibiase district are off as we speak, but efforts are underway to ensure that we will be able to restore power supply once Gridco finishes the work. But preliminary indications with Gridco indicates that they might be able to restore portions of the network because of the damage that's happened as a result of last night's fire outbreak. So we are also on standby to see what they can do and then how much power they can give to us to enable us distribute to our charity customers.
Public Relations Officer for the Electricity Company of Ghana in Ashanti West, Benjamin Obeng Entry. The Upper East Regional Minister Akamugri Donatu Satanga is calling for calm among residents and youth in Sanda Machiana and Navrongo following a series of road accidents linked to a diversion on the Sanda Machiana Navrongo highway. Concerned residents say the diversion lacks proper safety measures and has contributed to delays in the ongoing road project. They fear that the approaching rainy season could worsen the situation and lead to flooding in nearby communities. During a site visit, the minister assured residents that government's efforts are underway to improve the road and prevent further accidents.
We know that the route itself is supposed to be worked on, but the bridge is the most important, a vital part of the route. So if we're able to put this one, then we can now see how we can raise funding as a government to complete the whole route. And so as I've been working with them and I pick up the information and their funding sources, I'm convinced that they'll be able to complete it as scheduled. So I would like the community to appreciate that and give them the opportunity and support them so that they will complete the project for them. They should just temper justice with mercy. Yes, they have the right to complain because if you should lose life, why won't you complain? By now, if people who had the accidents are lying down and they cannot work, you have the cause to complain. So we appreciate that. But once they are also putting in their best, it's not their wish that people should go and get an accident or should go and lose their life because of the diversion. But they are trying as much as possible to resolve the matter, and they have given us timelines. I think that they should support them with prayers, and everything will be okay for us.
Akamugri Donatu Zatanga is the Upper East Regional Minister. Senior lecturer at the University of Ghana's Political Science Department, Dr. Joshua Jebuntizato, has commended suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu for filing a suit against the committee investigating petitions for her removal. Justice Tokonu, in a petition to the Supreme Court, is seeking a restraining order against the 5-member committee as well as Justices Gabriel Scott Poaman and Samuel Kwame Adibuasiedu from participating in the proceedings. Speaking on Channel 1 TV's Breakfast Daily, Dr. Jebuntizato urged the suspended Chief Justice to pursue the case to its logical conclusion.
And I'm happy that the Chief Justice is fighting to the end. I'm fighting that she's not going down without a fight. And I'm happy that this is happening in the broad view so that we can all see and watch. And I hope that at the end of the day, as a country, as individuals, we learn something and we learn a lot from it. I have sat on panels with members of the NDC, and they have suggested that she should just resign, that she can even have, in fact, I said to somebody who has said she can go what we call a negotiated resignation. Yeah. And my argument was that I have never seen any of them tell a man, when it was Domilevo, these same people did not tell Domilevo, just resign. No. So how then do you now say that because she's a woman, she shouldn't fight, she should resign? You see, don't tell her to resign because she should fight it. And as my brother said, we need precedents. We need these issues to go to their logical conclusion so that these processes will become clear and obvious to all of us.
Senior lecturer at the University of Ghana's Political Science Department, Dr. Joshua Jebuntizato. Meanwhile, presidential staffer Nanaya Jantua has questioned Justice Gertrude Tokonu's decision to seek an injunction against the committee investigating the petitions for her removal.
Now an injunction on 2 people. Why? This is what has happened. They said this is the committee. You don't have to delay it. Maybe then they should change the whole trajectory of it and take her elsewhere to answer questions. Maybe we should take her to the BNI for her to go and answer her questions. Because the committee has been set It has been set constitutionally. You do not determine who is on it or not. She was aware that the committee was in place. Why didn't she start the injunction, but now she's putting an injunction? This committee was put in place and she was aware. She didn't say, she didn't cough. You see, for her to even go ahead to respond to the petition, it means she has accepted to go through the process. She actually sat down with her lawyers to answer to the petition. The moment you do that, then it means that you have accepted to go through the process. So what has happened that now you want to put an injunction on 2 people?
Nanaya Jantua is a presidential staffer. And that's how we end the City Prime News, which has been live from our studio in Adabraka, Accra. Do log on to our website, citynewsroom.com, for more news. My name is Enusafo.
City News, we speak first.